You know, an important distinction we need to make is what the box is and what the features of the box are. So let's just look at it. If I have the number 20, and I make a box for this number 20, let's say I factor out a 2, meaning I'm going to say 2 times some number is going to equal 20. Remember, what's inside the box is the multiplication of this number and this number. So this number times this number equals that number. And so one of the things we could say, well, this would be 10, obviously, because 10 times 2 is 20. If instead of a 2, I wanted to factor out a 5, well, then this would have to be a 4, because 5 times 4 is 20. So we're going to look at that with polynomials also. We're going to say, you know what, I have x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x, and I want to take out an x. So I have x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x. So I want to take out an x. So then I have to say, well, what are these numbers up here that multiply times x to give me these? So then I look and I say, well, that has to be x squared. And this next one would have to be 3x. And this next one would have to be just a 4. So then I could say x times x squared plus 3x plus 4 equals x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x. And I really need you guys to get this, that this times this gives us the inside. So this times this gives us the original polynomial. So let's look at some more examples here. This time I'm not going to tell you what you can take out. You have to figure it out. So if I set up the box, I've got 2x cubed plus 6x squared plus 8x. Now how do I know to build it this way and not to make it a 2 by 2 or something like that? The reason I know to do that is because we're building we're factoring out a monomial, meaning just one thing. We're not going to take out two things that double bubble. And so if you look at this, if I look at just the numbers, you'll see I have a 2, a 6, and an 8. Well, those can all be divided by 2, so I'll take out a 2. And then if I look at the variables, I have x cubed, x squared, and just an x. I can only take out the smallest thing there, which is an x. I can't take out x squared or x cubed because I don't have one there. So I have to take out the smallest amount of x that I have. And now it's just a matter of figuring this out. So 2x times x squared would give me 2x cubed. And 2x times 3x would give me 6x squared. And 2x times 4 would give me 8x. So then I can say that 2x times x squared plus 3x plus 4 equals the polynomial. All right, we got another one here. So set up a box. I've got 2x cubed plus 6x squared plus 5x. Now looking at the numbers, I've got a 2, a 6, and a 5. 5's prime. And so 2 doesn't go into it, and which would be good here, but it doesn't go into that one. So there is no number I can take out. And if I look at my x's, it looks like I can just take out one x. So I've got 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. So then this equals x times 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. All right. Set up another one. We've got 3x to the 4th plus 5x cubed minus 4x squared. Once again, I'm looking at numbers, and I've got a 3, a 5, and a 4. They don't have anything in common. When I look at the x's, I can take out an x squared, it looks like. So then on top, I should get 3x squared plus 5x minus 4. So then x squared times 3x squared plus 5x minus 4 equals the original polynomial. Oh, this looks like a fun one. So we have 3x cubed y squared plus, that'll be a line, 9x squared y minus 12x squared y squared. So let's look at the numbers. So they got a 3, a 9, and a 12. Looks like I can take out a 3. For just the x's, looks like my smallest x is x squared. And for the y's, my smallest y is just a single y. So then to get these, in the first box, the 3 is already there. X squared, I need to get x cubed, so I'll need to multiply by an x. And y, to get y squared, I'll have to multiply by a y. Plus, to get 3 to be a 9, I need to multiply by 3. X squared is already there, and y is already there. And then to get, on the next one, to get the negative 12, I'd have to multiply by negative 4. And then the x squared's already there, but the y will have to multiply by one more y. And so 3x squared y times xy plus 3 minus 4y equals the original polynomial. Now the cubics. Okay. I used to try and teach this by memorization, but ever since the boxes came around, it actually turned out to be pretty good. Basically, here's the idea of what we're looking at. We have something cubed plus something else cubed, or we have something cubed minus something else cubed. So unlike the squareds, it doesn't matter if we have a plus or minus. Now, what's going to happen is whatever's being cubed is going to show up in your first bubble. So it's going to look exactly like this, just you would take away the variables. And so that A would be right there, the B would be right there, and the plus sign would be right there. Same thing down here. If I got rid of the 3's here, the A is right there, the B is right there, and the minus sign is right there. If you can set that up, you can do the rest of this. So let's just check this out. Let me get rid of all this. Alright, so x cubed plus 8. First thing we need to do is figure out what's being cubed. Obviously x is being cubed, plus, and then what number cubed gives you 8, and hopefully you all know that 2 cubed gives you 8. So we're going to set up a box. I need to set up a box that's 2 down, because now what I'm going to do is I know that I'm going to have the x, I'm going to have a plus sign, and then I'm going to have the 2. And now I need to set up my box so that when I finish adding up everything inside of here, it adds up to x cubed plus 8. So here's how it goes. You put an x cubed in the top left. Okay? And now we just start building until we get to where all of this stuff in here gives us x cubed plus 8. So let's just work it out. So I have x cubed. That means in order to get x cubed, I need this to be x squared. Now if that's x squared, that means this box right here needs to be 2x squared. But you'll notice, if I look over here, there are no x squareds. So I need that 2x squared to cancel out, which means this is going to have to be a negative 2x squared. And so if that's a negative 2x squared, then I have to take x times negative 2x to give me negative 2x squared. And if that's negative 2x, then this bottom's going to be negative 4x. Once again, you'll notice there is no x here. So if this is negative 4x, I need this up here to be a positive 4x. And if that's going to be a positive 4x, then I need this to be a plus 4 in order to get that. And if I do that, 4 times 2 gives me 8, which is what I want. So these guys cancel out, and these guys cancel out, and so I'm left with x cubed plus 8, which is exactly what I wanted. So now I can say that this times this gives me x cubed plus 8. So x plus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 4 equals x cubed plus 8. Now a lot of times people ask me, how do you know to make it a 3 box? Well, you just know that with cubics, basically. You're going to set up a 3 box. But if you don't know that, you can always set up a box so that it's open-ended, so that as you build it, you keep on adding these. And then when you've gotten down to where it's an 8 here, let's say, and you don't need any more, then you could just scribble those out. And it'll come with practice, too. So let's look at this next one. I have x cubed minus 1, 8x cubed minus 1. So once again, I'm trying to figure out what is being cubed for both of these. So the x is being cubed, obviously, but then also 8 is the same thing as 2 cubed, so I can put a 2 in there. So this is going to be a little bit more challenging just because there's a 2x right there. And then 1, as simple as 1 is, 1 cubed is 1. So that'll be a 1. So now I'm going to set up my box, and it'll be 2x minus 1 on the side. Alright, so I need to put 8x cubed here. In order to get 8x cubed, I would have to multiply by 4x squared, which would mean this would be minus 4x squared. Now if that's minus 4x squared, notice there is no x squared here, so I need to cancel it completely, so I need this to be a positive 4x squared. To get a positive 4x squared, I have to multiply by 2x. If I did that, that would give me negative 2x. Once again, there is no x here, so I need to cancel out, so I need a positive 2x. 2x times 1 gives me 2x, so I need to put a 1 up there, and 1 times negative 1 gives me negative 1. These guys cancel out, and so I'm left with x cubed minus 1, which is exactly what I have up here. So x cubed minus 1 equals 2x minus 1 times 4x squared plus 2x plus 1. Now sometimes we're going to look at this and try and double bubble it, but I haven't found yet where we can double bubble it, so you're pretty much off the hook for that part. So it's just done when we get down to those 2 bubbles. Alright, let's do another one. So here I've got x being cubed, and then over here I've got 3 being cubed. So when I set up my box, it's going to be x plus 3. This is x cubed, and so in order to get x cubed I need an x squared there, which gives me 3x squared. I need that to cancel, so this has to be a negative 3x squared. X times negative 3x gives me negative 3x squared. And negative 3x times 3 gives me a negative 9x. And so then if I put a positive 9x up there, they'll cancel out. So x times, or to get 9x, I need a plus 9 here. And 9 times 3 is 27. So these guys all cancel out, and I'm left with x cubed plus 27, which is exactly what I wanted. So that equals x plus 3 times x squared minus 3x plus 9. And I believe this is our last one. So here I'm trying to figure out what's being cubed. Alright, this one's pretty easy, x there, and then to get 125 I need 5 cubed. So I set up the box. I've got 5 plus x. And right here I need 125. So to get 125 I'd have to multiply 5 times 25, which give me 25x. Sorry. Alright, now I need that to cancel out, so this is a negative 25x. To get negative 25x, I need a negative 5x. If I did that, that would give me negative 5x squared. So to cancel that out, I need a positive 5x squared. And to get a positive 5x squared, I need this to be plus x squared. And x squared times x is x cubed. These guys cancel out, so I have 125 plus x cubed, just like I wanted, right there. So that equals 5 plus x times 25 minus 5x plus x squared.